Hello, proud Christian Zionist here. So, just wanted to tell you a little bit about my journey and why I'm so passionate and so set on why I speak up for the Jews and for Israel. I didn't find out about October 7th until about a year after it happened. Where I live, we're pretty limited. Canada's got this retarded ban that we're not allowed to see news online. And I don't have cable TV to watch the news. So when it all happened, I was at a different time in my life. And when I found out about it, it was my mom that told me. And I immediately started to look into it. And what I found brought me to my knees as a human being. It literally stopped my world. The demonic and viciousness of a people that could kill and slaughter innocents so easily. I forced myself to watch every video that I could find. I wasn't on TikTok or anything at the time, and social media for me was fairly limited, other than just family and friends. So I wasn't exposed to the Muslim Brotherhood, Hamas propaganda that's been pushed for how many years now since it happened, October. And I watched them all. I watched the interviews with the Zaka members that cleaned up the bodies. I watched the interviews of the families and heard their stories about what they went through. And then as I watched more and more and more, I would start to see the footage that matched up with the interviews that I would watch. And then as I started hearing about all of this just crazy issues, that these Palestinians were so innocent and all of this garbage, then I started to dive into the IDF interviews and stuff, the Christian podcasters and the Jewish podcasters and stuff that I follow. And I started to really look into hearing it from IDF soldiers' mouths and seeing it come from their lips type idea, and seeing their reactions, because I'm a human being and I want, just because I stand with the Jews in Israel, because my Savior, Jesus, was a Jew, doesn't mean that people don't make mistakes, right? And don't act the way they shouldn't. So I started to follow these stories that would be put out of these IDF reserve soldiers. And as I started to recognize the soldiers and then hear their personal stories, I realized that what the world is trying to push is just a complete lie. Like, it is absolutely the most grotesque lie that you can possibly wrap your head around. And that's the whole issue, is that for the last 3 years, part of the attack from October 7th was a social media and propaganda attack. They chanted in our streets and they attacked people. And they waved flags of Hamas and Hezbollah in our streets. Canadians walked beside posters that said "Death to Jews." Canadians did that. And the whole thing just baffles me because there's so much propaganda out there. It's absolutely fascinating to watch grown adults fall for propaganda of children with 3 arms and laughing. Meanwhile, ice cream shops and Nutella shops and high-end 5-star restaurants are opening in Gaza when they're supposedly going through starvation and a genocide. Like, like, it's actually, and I know most people will probably just say, oh, you're a Zionist, you're Zionist propaganda. But I've looked into it. There's like, how do you put it? Theater acting in Gaza is actually like a legit career. They have complete crews, camera crews, and makeup crews that come in just like a movie set. And they come in and they stage all of these videos that you people are screaming over and accusing them over the genocide thing. And it's so funny because last year I remember watching one press member or journalist die like 6 different times. Like he was like, and then you ask yourself, so why are the cameras always just coincidentally set up to catch the bombings? Do you ever wonder that? You know, you see like all these Palestinians standing around and pretending like they're doing something, and then all of a sudden the bomb drops from the IDF, and the bomb drops and takes out a building, and they're all like, oh, the babies. And it's like they got warning like 24 hours before that bomb was gonna drop. Like, do you not realize that? Do you not realize that the IDF, they actually have an entire department that phones and text messages, and they drop leaflets from the sky in the millions all across Gaza, like to warn them to stay out of an area. It's like, I've seen the videos. I've physically sat here and watched the BS videos. And then all of you crying about babies. You know, there was 150,000 babies born in Gaza, like in 2025, during a genocide. Did you know that? Yeah. They've celebrated weddings, and all throughout the videos, all you see are fat Gazan men dancing and jiggling their bellies around. Meanwhile, you think that Israel is starving them when Israel is actually the one paying for the aid to go into Gaza, just like they've done for years. Pull your heads out of your asses and wake up. Because there's absolutely no genocide happening in Gaza. You know, if what's happening in Nigeria and Sudan, the thousands of Christians that are being slaughtered on a regular basis by Islamists and jihadis, if those are not genocide, which is straight up ethnic cleansing and genocide, how can How, how does a military or an army dropping leaflets from the sky and phoning people on the phone and telling them to leave an area so they can take out a Hamas tunnel? How is that genocide? I don't understand. There is so much whining about Gaza because it's never been about the Palestinian people. There is so much whining in Gaza because it's the whole ploy is to take Israel down and wipe them off the face of the planet. That's part of Hamas's charter. That's like they have been chanting it for years, and now all you white retarded people, and yeah, I'm white, but it took me a while to, I had to go and do some digging. I wasn't just a lemming that jumped off the cliff behind everybody else because I'm not a brain dead moron. If you don't believe me, send me a message and I'll send you proof. I'll send you in the right direction. I only really follow Christian and Messianic Jews information who are in the Middle East, whether it's Iran or it's Israel. I have no shame to stand up and say I'm a Zionist. And if to you a Zionist means that I'm a baby killer and a genocidal maniac because you have zero knowledge and zero education, then I'm never going to change your mind. The only thing that's going to change your mind is for you to stop being a friggin' idiot and open your eyes. But you know what? Misery loves company, right? So just keep on waving the pro-Palestine flags while they, kill their own people. You don't support the Palestinians. Because if you did, you would be listening to the Palestinians. You would be listening that they want out from underneath Hamas. You would be paying attention to that. But instead, you're chanting to slaughter an entire ethno-religious group of people. Because when you chant Free Palestine, to you it might just be Free Palestine and you think that you're doing good. But to the people that created the chant, it means death to the Jews and death to Israel. You might want to learn some Middle Eastern culture and how things really work over there because you're brainwashed. Thanks for listening from a proud Christian Zionist.